Same here. And do you know who else is happy? Our two teams who made it to the finals. We are watching Filmy versus Durian Defenders, and it's them versus us. We are into draft. We are deep into draft already, actually.
Wow, and we're seeing sluggers already. There's a lot to talk about. Aatrox versus Set, Trundle already in there, Syndra versus Hwei. Wow. Oh my goodness.
We have a lot to talk about already because Filmy chose blue side with their coin toss.
Yes.
The Aatrox looking great. The Trundle looking great. Banned away the Tom Kench.
Mm-hmm.
This is feeling pretty good.
And I'm maybe misremembering. So again, this is a rematch of our game 2 for this tournament. The Durian Defenders and Filmy were both on stream for the second game. And I want to say that J4 was in that game with MF. But I could be misremembering. Anyways, very, very strong showing with that J4. It caused a lot of problems.
Absolutely. And you are correct, because you and Billy were talking about the combo there with the Cataclysm Bullet Time. Great combo, by the way. One 100%. Of my favorites.
Xin Zhao as well.
He was in there.
Yeah. So these teams have absolutely learned to take out some comfort picks. And I'm pretty sure Zach was banned on that first game. So now that we see it, here we are.
Yeah, definitely. And I like the Janna ban here, because look at your champions, Zach and Set.
Yep.
Janna says no thank you to both of those champions. I wonder what's going to come out with the rest of this composition. Are we going to see another diving support?
It's interesting. There's the MF ban. I'm loving this Hwei pick. We came in kind of midway, so my brain still has to kind of catch up from the time lag. But with such a thick front line already, Set less mobile, Zach more mobile, the peel for Hwei is really good. And Hwei has crowd control options and damage options that can make an Aatrox or a Trundle suffer.
There you go.
Yeah.
Last
Renata Glass.
Last ban is Renata Glass. I forgot the ban word. Like I don't know what you know what it is. You know what it is? I'm a dad now. That's what it is.
That's 100%.
My brain is just off for half of the things I'm saying. It's not like she's going to listen to half of what I say anyway. And so I think I've just resigned myself to only getting half of the information out I want.
Sure. Yeah, Renata was another champ. I'm pretty sure Ash was as well, champions that we saw. Xayah. Now, Xayah is on the side of Filmy, right?
It is not, no.
Oh, it was not? Okay, my bad. It's on Durian Defenders, because Xayah was someone that we saw in the semifinals, played to great effect. Smolder, that is not a champion we see a lot at PLC.
No, and it's locked. Look at that. Wow. Oh, and the Mel. Are we going to get Mel? I love Mel.
I like their comp. I like their comp a lot. Not only is it putting the clock on Poppy is great too. Poppy against Zach as well is frustrating.
Yeah, it's another one of those champions that is frustrating when you have a lot of dashes.
Yeah.
Dashes and jumps. Wait, man, you know what?
We're playing with our hearts.
You know what we need to do? The next time we're watching Filmy, we need to just say, I guess that's okay.
Yeah, not my
just
favorite.
Gotta let it go. Then they'll lock it in.
Okay, good. I wanted them to play that.
But I'm not upset about the Soraka either, because Smolder needs to be in the lane and farming, and one of the best ways to keep him in the lane is to heal him up with the Soraka.
Can I disagree? Because I don't know what Soraka is. It's not like they have like a ton. Hwei's got the poke. I think Braum Xayah is a much scarier lane than Smolder Soraka.
Well, yeah, because Smolder's another one of those scalers, right? It's kind of like the Kayle. You don't want to have your overly pressured lane when you're playing Smolder. You're just trying to stack.
Yeah, but what is Soraka doing that prevents them from getting run over? You know, like I feel like this Soraka. I liked the Poppy more, and maybe they had too many options at the start, but Poppy is really going to give that protection from the Zac coming in. Again, like what Smolder needs to stack, like the Kayle last game, is to not be dead.
Right.
And so if they're getting dived on, like you need peel, not sustain.
Okay.
So, anyways, I could be wrong, and I'm happy to be wrong, but Soraka was what we got.
Isn't that the best thing about craft, ladies and gentlemen, is the ability to say, I think, but I understand. I disagree, but I this. And that's one of the fun things about looking at all of these games and watching these teams, because they have different mentalities and thoughts about how the game should be played. So, kudos A to them for picking what they wanted to pick. Kudos to you, B, for seeing through the lies that I have been spouting, and C, kudos to me, because I'm cool.
Yeah, you are cool indeed. And honestly, like this is peak League of Legends right here. This is what League of Legends is all about. Is to be able to make this. League of Legends could be a bunch of boxes with similar stats just whacking each other without any uniqueness, but we don't live in that world. We live in a world with strengths and weaknesses that we can play to, and that's what makes the game interesting. Imbalance a little bit to allow people to shine or not shine is what makes this game fun. It's why I keep coming back, and why I'm excited for this game. I really think like this game is defined by Aatrox Trundle, at least on the side of Filmy. And then Durian Defenders is defined by their front line, which is Set and Zac. I feel like they have great backline options that set a certain precedent. Filmy being that they're going to scale up over time, and Durian Defenders being that long range aggression. But I still think that the game is going to be decided by how the top lane and how the jungle are able to navigate, not just team fights, but their lane, through ganks. I'm going to say that we need to look at those 4 champions the most to determine how the game is going to go.
Lucky for us, we're already familiar with Dire Spark and Almond Milk on these champions. We know how they're going to be working. It actually is, if it's going to be similar to how the last one went, which it probably won't, because Set plays the exact opposite way that Kayle does, but it would be leave the Aatrox on that island for a little bit, let him sustain and let him do what he's going to do, while Almond Milk does what he does around the map. But I think it's going to be a little bit more focused on other parts of the map, because the Aatrox Set, they're just going to fight each other.
Yeah, and what's really interesting is that while we're familiar with a lot of the people in Filmy, like they're playing similar champs, we've not seen any of these champions from Durian Defenders. I think Braum is a repick on the side of Gibbon, but like these are totally different champs. Bacon Lips on Set. I haven't seen Set all day, if I remember correctly.
It was game 3 actually.
Game 3. My apologies.
That's okay. You were getting McDonald's.
I did. And it was delicious.
Good.
But Hui as well. Not someone. I guess we do see him in PLC. Just very interesting. So, kind of the wild card versus the tried and true. Filmy have a little bit of a name to reclaim. They both want to win the tournament again, and they it's a rematch. They want to reclaim the loss.
Exactly. And I think Geo is going to perform a little bit better on the Syndra. You have more agency and more self-peel tools than you do on the Victor. Yeah. Now, not that he has anything to redeem himself for, because they won that game, and I think he played Victor as best he could in the situation.
Right.
But I like the choice here. Syndra's a little bit more proactive. She's safer. She's got the longer range on the crowd control. It's more reliable. Not as much, because they just changed Victor's W to be a set amount of time instead of random.
Yes.
And I miss the random. I'm gonna say, I really do. I love unique little things that make certain champions special, and that was one of them. Right? Who else in the game has a crowd control that just surprises you?
Agree to disagree.
That's fine. Okay. That's fine. See, that's the other thing about this game, like you were talking about. We've got this just breadth of opinions and powers and things, and we are allowed to have those opinions. And it doesn't matter what that opinion is, because in the end, we don't control the game.
Yeah, and honestly, like we were talking about on the PCP podcast, shameless plug number 2.
Hey.
We have all these control mages in the PLC. It's so fascinating to me that we don't see in solo queue. It is Z Z Z Talon Z, right? and and that's it. And like we don't even see Zed. We don't see assassins nearly as often, especially with how focused the control mages are. Now that just might be my MMR showing, or that might be the fact that like it shows the power of communication for these control mages, which is really fascinating to me. But I agree. I'm like, is that something that like teams can take advantage of now? That like I know there are a lot of control mage players. You know, I can think of a couple off the top of my head that I love, like Vhagar, or you know, that you can kind of prey on. I know when I was playing mid lane for a team that has now crumbled, one of many, I liked to play more assassin characters because I was playing against a lot of control.
You were big on the Nefiri.
Mm-hmm.
Nefiri and Ambessa, I remember.
Ambessa and Echo.
Oh, it was Echo, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, those are my three. So, and I could play more, but those are the ones that I played because I liked playing into Syndra's and into Hui and all that.
Well, then you missed an opportunity because we had a Kha'Zix in game number 3 as well.
The mid lane?
Oh, it was in the jungle, but
Oh,
it was still an assassin.
We see assassins, just not in the mid lane. And that's what's fascinating.
I don't think we see him in the jungle much either.
Yeah, I mean, we like Xin Zhao, obviously a fighter.
Right. It's fighters and tanks.
Right. But yeah, we don't see like Rengars and all that.
Oh, man, bring back those days.
In solo queue, you can't go 2 games without seeing a Fizz. In PLC, when's the last time we saw a Fizz? You know?
I don't think we did. And
we
thank God for that. Here we are on Summoner's Rift for our finals. There is no Fizz. I will repeat it. Thank goodness for that. We're on the Rift. Game number 5 of the day. First hit for first strike goes to Geo against Wazy. Show us your love in the chat, everybody. Who's going to win? We have Phil Me on the blue side and Durian Defenders on the red. This is a rematch of game number 2 of the day. Who's going to come out ahead? Do you have a prediction, Shazma?
I want to give it to Durian Defenders. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. This is their first tourney. And
it is the first time we've seen them.
I love, number one, they've played solid throughout the entire tourney. They've done great to even get this far on their first tourney. But number 2, oh man, the game 2 is so fun, and I think they deserve that win. I think they should be able to close it out. I'm not thrilled by some of the choices that Filming has chosen, but we'll see. I'm okay with being wrong too. I would not be mad with a Filming victory.
It's the Soraka, isn't it?
It is the Soraka. It really is. I tend to lock into like one choice that I don't like on a team. That is my entire basis. But yeah, I'm not a fan of the Soraka.
But super fan right here, hit with the concussive blows. No pullback from XO King.
Dang,
we get a decent trade in the bot lane.
Gibbon is. I remember very well. In game 2, both supports, it was that Alistar, and I believe it was a Braum. Yeah. It was amazing to watch them both. They both played it very, very well. But we'll see. Gibbon is taking a lot of pressure and a lot of poke for what was originally a really good engage.
Up on the top side, I don't know if you saw it, that was a set W start. And that's really, I think that's the first time I've seen that. I've seen E start, I've seen Q start. I don't think I've seen W. And I'm interested in that choice because it's supposed to be what you max last. It's supposed to be what you pick last. Yeah, supposed to, in quote marks, I guess I should say. But it's interesting and it's a lot of fun. That's another one of the great things about this game and why we keep coming back to it. King is in a little bit of trouble. Gary comes out ahead on that trade, and Gibbon has no way to sustain King up.
Yeah, potion's already used. He's looking really, really weak, especially because both jungles started topside, went bot lane, so they should be prepping for a gank, and gank is not where you want to be when you have 200 health.
Right.
And guys, don't let me down. I'll show this rock up. Come on, guys. But seriously, like this is a difficult situation to be. Allowing the wave to push up to the turret, not bad at all. I think they should be fine.
16 stacks on the Smolder so far. We see that in the top left corner of his portrait next to the ultimate timer. And the sustain coming from the Soraka plus the Keystone. Wait a minute. Bacon gets pulled back in, hits a nice W, but it's not enough. One more auto attack. The flash is followed. First blood over to Dire Spark. We have Elastic Slingshot onto Almond Milk. Flash forward. Superfan is keeping him alive for now. Gibbon is ignited. Damage is going down. Almond Milk will die, but so will Gibbon.
No.
Now King is still alive. The barrier makes Derry the recipient of the war. The feat of war. Wazy is going to be next. That's a flash forward for the auto attack. Derry and Superfan are going to get the kill onto Lava Slide. That's 5-1. From the top to the bottom, across the rift, fill their pockets with gold.
Bill Me fans are feasting right now. I absolutely, I got to shout out Rick in the chat. I did not give enough credit to Dire Spark last game, who absolutely deserved it last game. Played a great, solid game against Kale, which was a winning lane, but he also just played good in team fights as well. Getting that solo kill on Set should be respected, and Set needs to not play like Set for a little bit, because that is a lot of strength that you give. A pickaxe already coming out for the Aatrox.
All that said, he missed the cannon, so all respect taken back.
So true, so true.
Here comes the next fight. Bacon Please goes in. He does have that W charge. It's not nearly enough without the full bar from his grit, but that is half health, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's an even-ish trade there.
But you don't take even trades against Set. While Aatrox might have heal, Set has...
Superfan might be in some trouble. He is caught with the concussive blows, and the pullback gives King another kill. Or his first, I should say.
Now, the game 2 of the Swiss with this team the first time, it was back and forth and back and forth.
Bacon's in some trouble. He will get the...
Whoa!
And he got the outplay! Holy crap! Bacon Please ate his bacon and is strong and full of energy today, getting the solo kill retribution against Dire Spark.
I take it all back. That was awesome.
Geo is in some trouble. Almond Milk is here. We have exact opposite shifts here on the mid lane. Almond Milk going to go after Wazy, but the pillar just knocks him away from the team. Geo wants to set up a nice pole. He has the unleashed power, gets the kill with the Scatter of the Weak, and that's 2 for the Syndra.
That's really rough. Now, as I was saying, the game 2 was really swingy both ways, and it looks like we might have something similar. Gold differences are already starting to widen. Syndra 2-0 against the Hui, who is really struggling right now. Also notable, Smolder 2-0.
Yeah.
Smolder, the champion that we had slated to be, well, he's just gonna farm and be relevant later, is suddenly relevant now.
Yeah.
And that's scary.
46 stacks as well. What's first break point? Isn't it 50?
I think it's like 25 or something.
Oh, yeah, it's really low. Well, let's watch. Let's watch the next queue. Yeah, okay, so that one exploded, so he's past his first break point. But then the next one is 125, right? It's really, really wide, the gap. Okay, so...
There's multiple breakpoints. One is really, really small, and he's already hit that, and you should be approaching the next one really well. One big thing is that Braum blocking the damage does not block the stack.
Correct.
And so he's able to farm those stacks every time he shoots the... forgive me, is it Achu? It's
the snowball?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one right there.
Every single time he lands that on Braum, even Braum doesn't take the damage, he's getting a stack for that, and a stack is not what you want on a fed Smolder.
Exactly. Hitting level 6, meaning Mom is on the Rift now. Tell you what.
I hate his abilities.
Is Mom Shyvana's aunt?
I don't know. He's definitely Silas's aunt. We'll just say that.
Okay, that's fair. Derry playing pretty far up in the lane, very confident. And, I was talking about his sustain. It's not just the Soraka, it's his Keystone as well. Using that fleet footwork to keep himself in the lane, I love the choice. Bacon gets the stun into the Haymaker, but now might be in some trouble. Frozen Domain means Almond Milk is quite quick. Gank has been turned around on the bottom side. Derry is hit with a Winter's Bite, but nothing's going to happen here on the bottom.
And I'm building Smolder wrong on my games. But yeah, it looks like a lot of action on the top side. Zach jumping in, doesn't land anything. Man, these top lane sluggers are making me hold a breath a little bit. Set has such confidence, which got him killed initially, but is clearly doing something right with both a CS lead and the ability to just walk up the Aatrox.
Super Fan is in some trouble. Concussive Blow stuns him. The root is there. The ult knockup is there. The ignite is there. Gibbon picks up a kill. Gary might be in trouble next, but he just flaps away.
Yeah, sue me to say that if they lose their Fall
Guys.
I almost called it Fall Guys. Wow. If Filmy loses this bot lane, I feel like it's a detriment on the Soraka side. Like I don't think Soraka is doing anything to make Smolder last longer. Man, I'm a lot of hate for this champion, but it really just does not feel the best, and I already feel like they're doing good though. So anyways, Drake going over to the side of the Durian defenders, and yeah, oh no, it was a trade up for Epic Monster.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot of damage.
So first strike damage looking really good. Bacon goes into the showstopper. Ignite is in. This is actually really smart.
Ooh.
Haymaker is flashed. He needs one more auto attack. Knuckle down, secures it, and Bacon Lips picks it up.
Bacon Lips is, look at that gold difference between these two. Like, you know that Syndra is beating Hwei pretty bad.
Yeah.
But, like, it looks kind of even between that, but the CS, the amount that Set has prevented Aatrox from being, this is our first game on stream where Aatrox is not the threat.
Yeah. And which is interesting because it's the same player, too.
Yes.
But now Gibbon wants to go in and dissuade Derry from doing anything. Oh, it's because Lava Slide is here. He has a skin that makes it look like a Lava Slide. They're just going to walk out of here. Mom is called up, but now Bacon is in some trouble. Geo throws the unleashed power, rather.
Oh, God.
Pulled in, and there it is. Dire Spark gets his revenge with the help of his mid laner. And, what a great roam coming up from the Syndra.
All right, am I out of touch with the Zac players? Is that a proto belt on the Zac? I don't think I've ever seen proto belt on Zac before, and that just might mean that I haven't played it for a while.
You may not be out of tune with the Zac players, but you're out of tune with the names. That is a rocket belt.
Ah, my bad. It was back in my day. But still, it's not.
Yeah, point stands. It is an item that I don't see often either.
See very often. I wonder what the thought process there. I hasn't gotten a ton from it, but I did see that in the last fight and like blinked twice when I was like, did Braum just use proto belt? No, that was Zac. Zac going back in.
Here he goes. He does have passive, meaning that he is brave here. He jumps in to get the stretching strike. Derry almost stunned, uses the barrier and makes it out alive so far. Gibbon is low, Lava Slide is low. No counter gank coming, but man, these guys, that's the Raka in action right there.
Totally. Yeah, no, you're right. You're 100% right. That is the Raka in action. And man, so Zac used the proto belt right there to get the Q, but like to what avail? I just like at what point do you just build Newton Steven said? I need to study. There's too much going on, man. I'm freaking out. I've gotta learn what's going on. Set still hitting like a truck, even though he did die.
Lava Slide is in some trouble. Uses that rocket belt. Flash follow from Almond Milk. But now, King in some trouble. Gets hit with Mom. Derry's on a killing spree. That's going to be a double kill. He is ignited, but it doesn't matter. And look at this. The flash burned by Almond Milk is to his own death.
Okay, and who enabled the kill bot lane? Soraka. I'm going to give it. That was Soraka 100%. They were able to bait out Braum overextending because Soraka was able to help.
But now, without the W, that means that Bacon might be in some trouble. Dire Spark wants to go in on him. Dodging out the Darkened Blade. Second one does land. Flash for Geo to get away from Lava Slide. The fight on top side does break up, but Bacon Lips is still pushing against the turret with a health deficit. Like, what the heck happened there?
Yeah, this game is baffling right now. There's basically a kill on everyone on the map except Trundle of all of people. And oh my goodness. goodness.
Bacon Lips dodging out the Infernal Chains, gets the pull in. Is he low enough? He hits the W, and he's fast, but is he fast enough? Dire Spark chasing him in the rush into the alcove. He gets the ultimate, but he does go down.
Okay, your regen is crazy, dude. Not that crazy. Calm down. What is this set's confidence? Oh my goodness.
He's role playing.
I guess so, man. And he's only a couple of gold. I mean, he's farming the waves, so it's gonna widen a little bit. But man, 2 and 3, he loses a couple of plates there. We got a finals, y'all.
Lava Slide goes in onto Dire Spark. He's trying to clear the waves so that the turret will take Dire Spark down a little bit. More of the Darkened Blade onto Lava Slide. He knocks him off. He's got the red buff and the rocket belt. He gets the shutdown.
Man, never underestimate the amount of damage that a Zac player can do. Zacs love it when you underestimate their damage, but they actually do damage. They clear jungle, turns out.
Superfan caught out again. He's going to get hit with the concussive blows. And what? That's anti-heal on King already.
Wow.
Derry dodges out the Glacial Fissure, still taking a bit of damage here. Not rooted up by King, but Gibbon doing quite a lot of work there. Mom is dodged out by the champions, but man, those minions got roasted.
100%. Can we give that a new name? Oh man, a teleport coming in from the Aatrox.
Oh, he's gonna take the turret. He doesn't even care. He takes the turret. That's the first one, and now he's gonna fight Aatrox. He doesn't have the Haymaker anymore, but I don't think that's even gonna stop him. He's just gonna go fight the guy into the Deathbringer stand. No, sorry, World Ender. That's what that one's called. He's gonna get the slow. Does he have the W flash into the stun? And there is the Haymaker. He doesn't have enough after that. Flash is burned. No flash available for Bacon Lips, and Dire Spark picks up the kill.
The set's like got such macho energy. I mean, it allows him to take the turret, which all the power to him. But man, I just like what. The mind of a set player is a mystery to me. Almond Milk caught with the concussive blows immediately into the root. Almond Milk is alive because Superfan shows up and gives him the heal, but it was with the ultimate as well. Flash from Superfan, meaning Lava Slide does not get the stretching strike. The disengage is there, but instead Wazy is caught by Geo, giving him a whole lot of gold because of the first strike. Yeah, man. I'm just looking at the amount of heal reduction. I can't quite see, but we have a lot of ignites on the enemy team. On Braum, on Set, I believe. I don't think Set took teleport. And that's crazy because they're against Trundle, they're against Aatrox and Soraka. And while I'm someone who thinks that heal reduction is a little bit overhyped, it's doing work. Yeah, on these team fights. Dire Spark is going to surprise Bacon Lips here with the Infernal Chains, but he just does not care. He knuckles down and he gets this ward like he wanted to in the first place. Gonna get the slow from the Stride Breaker. He's gonna get some auto attacks here as well. He will not be able to land the stun, but he does get a decent Haymaker there. He's gonna have to dodge out the Infernal Chains. Is pulled back, but he is killed. Dire Spark gets another solo kill. Derry's gonna take a turret, has to flash away. Flash ultimate from Gibbon. The slow is there for Derry. He has already used the barrier. He is now slowed with the concussive blows. He's stunned with the concussive blows, and King is here. One more auto shutdown gold over to King. That's not good, guys. On Xayah of all champions, too. I think Xayah is officially online now. The clock is still ticking with Smolder as he gets closer to that Elder Dragon. They are hungry. Almond Milk, Geo, going on to Gibbon, but they've completely ignored the fact that King hasn't gone back up that way. Yeah, is able to recall just safe. Honestly, a fair trade to allow the support to die. That is still gold. That is still a death, and they're going to be able to take dragons clearly for that. But that was going to happen anyways. So the fact that the ADC is able to get out of there is really good. Keep that damage. So is that good on Gibbon, or is that bad on Filmy? I say yes. Okay. It's good on both. They took a bad situation and they mitigated the damage. So Aka getting out of there, yeah. 50 health. That's pretty crazy. And honestly, if that Oblivion Orb was not Oblivion Orb and was a little bit more AP, I think that would have killed it. Crazy thoughts, right? Like, well, and that's what's so interesting is that's the reason why things are the way they are. That's why things are balanced that way.
why you don't get this absurd amount of AP from the heel cut items.
Yeah, and blasting one does not build into every single item you want to build. So it's not a one-to-one comparison, but it is one of those things that I'm like, the regen from Soraka is not necessarily something that's going to like make or break a fight, which it did just there. But yeah, here we are. Just the game is stabilizing out. We get the chance to kind of look at each of these players. There is a significant gold lead to the side of Filmy. Almost said Fall Guys again. And here we are. Like it's a tough situation to be a Durian Defender fan, but I still feel like Durian Defenders have some power in the Zaya. This set needs to stop fighting Aatrox, dude. Like,
No, he's got heel cut now.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, there we go. Dire Spark against Bacon Lips. He does get the stun. Gonna knock him into his team. Gibbon is here. They are gonna get concussive blows. They're gonna stun him. And now Lava Slide gets another knockup with the elastic slingshot. Let's bounce onto Almond Milk. Wazy has come as well. Derry over the wall trying to do a little bit of damage. But that is a 1-for-0 on the side of Durian.
That is absolutely true. Set does walk out of there. Did not catch how close his support was. And how far away the response was from Filmy. So, sure enough, Set does get that kill.
Wazy helps get a root. Almond Milk is hit with the ultimate Spiraling Despair going on to Almond Milk. That's a kill for Lava Slide. Slow down onto Superfan. He is stunned. King now on a killing spree. Do Durian continue to go in? They don't, because Derry is around.
It's tough. This Zac has kind of flown under my radar for a while, and so has this Trundle. This Trundle built Trinity Force. A lot of damage, a lot of aggression into what I thought would be kind of more of a frontline person. But like, then again, so is Zac, and it's paid off.
They're going for the Otacon.
They are going for the Otacon.
Now, I don't know if I agree with this. I understand that Almond Milk is dead for another 2 seconds, but are you ready for this? Is this the fight? Wazy is your front line at the moment, and he is low. He has to flash away. Dire Spark flashes in himself. Is that enough? Without the smite, they can't get the Otacon either, and now it is half health and ready to reset. I think that it resets here. The patience bar is going to go away. Remember, your resistances are drastically reduced when you're fighting this guy.
Right. You do not want to take it to the fight while this guy is wailing on you.
Ooh, Bacon Lips is caught. He gets a decent haymaker. They trade 1 for 0. The Ignite is down onto Dire Spark. He lives, but only for half a second longer. He goes down. It is a 2-for-1 trade so far. Almond Milk now on the Otacon. Mom goes screaming, breathing fire onto Wazy. Lava Slide is ready to re-engage King in the wings. Otacon has been restarted on the side of Durian Defenders. Geo holding the front line against King and Lava Slide. They're gonna clear. Oh my gosh, wait, the Rift Herald was summoned in the mid lane and it's just taking turrets.
Yep.
But now, King wants to get in close, wants to try and do something. He gets stunned. Geo hits him there, and now without his ultimate, that's an easy kill. Geo is unstoppable, but who gets it? It was stolen by Durian Defenders. Lava Slide takes the Otacon. He will pay for it for his life, but he took it. Holy crap, this game is insane!
He also took Soraka's life as well during that. Oh my goodness, like super, super close. But I do want to highlight, one of our clocks has finished ticking. That is in fact a stacked Smolder, a 7-in-1 Smolder that is doing Elder Dragon damage.
Yeah.
He is executing people. That is not good for the Durians.
No, definitely not. And you know, I saw the indicator for the execute,
Yes.
and I was like, oh, yeah, I guess Smolder stack. It didn't even occur to me that that's
20
something to bring
minutes.
up. Yeah,
Yeah.
big. And
Yeah, it's very, very scary. He just built his third item. This is the best like place that I've ever seen a Smolder ever. And that is not a dunk, more of a dunk on Smolder players than anything. But anyways, you're set.
Bacon Lips might be in some trouble. Actually uses a great ultimate to pull Almond Milk onto Geo. He has the haymaker ready. He wants to aim it where it'll do a decent amount of damage. He has his flash available. Bacon Lips in some trouble. He does have the W, but now his grip bar is completely empty. He doesn't do anything with it. Gibbon is going to give him a shield. He lives for just a sliver longer. Dire Spark joins the fight. So does Derry. Geo is dominating, and that's going to be a Drake over the side of Filmy.
I can tell this Bacon Lips guy is fun to play with. I'll just say that right now. That he makes some pretty funny plays. I don't think they pay off, but I respect the fact that he takes those risks and those gambits. And unfortunately,
Lava
right.
slide gets interrupted. Geo stops him from going in for another steal. Superman is hit with the ultimate from the
Yep.
Wazy, and he unleashed power makes Geo godlike. Lava slide is gonna run away, and now Filmy invade in the jungle. They're gonna take a blue buff, and they're gonna push up on this turret, which already has a wave. I don't think they'll take it. There he does do a lot of damage though.
Right.
Oh, he gets a second wave. Yeah, that's gone. Turret's gone.
Absolutely. And am I reading that right? Is that 280 stacks on Smolder right now? That Durian defenders are now, the ways for them to win are slowly ticking down. They're kind of getting choked out, and right now, Filmy are looking pretty strong for yet another tournament win. So now the question is, if Durian defenders can turn it around, how do they do so?
Yeah. Right now, they are defending. They are the Durian defenders, right? They have to defend their base. They have to defend their success earlier in the day. All of these things, and you know what? I'm gonna say something. I disagree with Lava Slide's choice in camp taking here. If he had taken the Krugs first, he might have been able to get the red buff to his whole team because Baron spawns, which means he gives it to everybody in just 15 more seconds.
I don't know if you're absolutely right. I kind of agree with you. Being able to wait and path a little bit better would be smart. And I don't know if red buff is enough for the next fight to make that much of a difference. They're just so strong right now that a small tweak here or there is not going to be enough. A little bit of a slow. I Man, there's a lot going on with this Zach that I'm like, he's doing well, but it doesn't feel like he's making enough of an impact. Like he's clearly doing better than the Trundle right now, not just in like kills, but like in pressure for objectives and things like that. Like he was able to summon the Rift Herald and take that turret down,
Yeah.
while the rest of them were distracted. And I respect that Zach, but I feel like it's a little bit too little, too late, especially when it comes to this Syndra, who's crazy. There's 7 kills on the Syndra and the Smolder. Like,
Good grief.
they've got the money in the right places. This is not looking good.
I want to draw attention one more time to the Smolder. He's one of those win conditions. When we were talking earlier about the Kale and how that scaling needs to be what you're playing for, well, we're there, right? He's not behind. Just a single empowered auto attack there onto Gibbon took almost a quarter of his health. That's crazy.
And he's the tank.
Yeah.
Let alone the rest of them. And that burn, and the fact that it's only getting worse every time he does that. Right now, like, obviously if they can kill the Smolder without any repercussions, but I just don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that. I think Smolder is so safe as he is, being able to fly over the wall, being able to just poke from a nice distance. He kind of feels like Ezreal right now, except for he's scaling like Kog'Maw.
Yeah.
That's a terrifying thought.
Absolutely. I want to draw attention to this 40 CS lead that Bacon Lips has. Oh, here we go. Dire Spark. He stops the Elastic Slingshot. He has to go into the World Ender. That's the showstopper. Do they have the damage? So he's pulled back one more time. Bacon Lips picks up that kill. Do they get the kill on the Superfan? He pulls him back in. Flash into... Oh, he flashed to get the Haymaker! But is it going to be enough? Geo is going to unleash the power onto him. Goes legendary. That's 8 kills. Does Derry follow suit? He's burning Gibbon down. He is still alive. But now Derry is on a rampage. He is 8-1. King might be in some trouble here. He has the feathers. He gets the root and runs to his support. Gibbon made it out alive, but only just. And King might be in some trouble. Never mind. Superfan jumps right onto King. No root collar to get Superfan down. Geo wants to keep the fight going. Derry on his wing, ready to keep going. They got to dodge out the scout of the week. King is hit. He is hit hard, and that's a kill for Derry.
And that is absolutely brutal. One thing that we don't talk about a lot because it's a relatively new change is that Syndra does have that same scaling right now, and she gets her own, I believe it's an execute as well for landing her skill shots. It's how she upgrades her abilities now. But Like, we have not talked enough about this 8-0 Syndra that can just blow anyone up. And she doesn't even need her ulti anymore to do it, but she also has her ulti to do it. Like, I think this set is
Watch
hilarious.
this. Here we go. Onto the set, takes a third of his health. Like you were saying,
Yeah.
without even using the ultimate. Geo doing a lot of work. We see why the Syndra was picked as early in the draft as it was. Very, very strong.
Yeah, and just confident and powerful. I'm kind of glad that Geo gets the chance to shine, like we were talking about after that Victor game, where he was able, or they were able to beat out that Hui. Gotta respect the Hui, who's staying relevant despite some pretty dire situations. But
Right.
but yeah, Syndra is a menace just as much as the Smolder.
Those menaces are going to start up the Baron. Gibbon is on the wings. Lava Slide on the top side. Almond Milk not in the pit. I think that's a little weird because that's your smite. Wazy goes in with the fear onto Dire Spark. Do they have the damage? He's into the Spiraling Despair. I think they just might kill this guy. They knock him up. He goes into the World Ender. He is stunned one more time.
Wow.
That fight is already a 1-4-2 in favor of Durian Defenders, though. Zaya is low and out of the fight. Wow.
Yes, but the scary people are still up, so however this fight goes.
Almond Milk going in against Gibbon. He throws up the wall to try and keep himself
Zach on
safe.
side.
He goes down. Zach doesn't want to go in there. But now, Jungler is available. Almond Milk, I don't think you go for the Baron here at this point. I actually think that you try and fight him in the pit.
Yeah.
Nah, they're still too close.
You definitely don't fight, right? The star players, you're never going to catch them out, but you can't take a fight until you catch either Syndra or Smolder out. And they don't have the CC to absolutely lock them down. Now, Zach can do some stuff. He wouldn't be able to do this stuff with their Poppy. But Zach would be able to kind of shut down one of the two characters, and that's just not enough. Zach would just die. So, what is that now? Is that 380 stacks?
380.
We,
A kill and a half a minute, by the way. 45 in 30 minutes.
DLC, ladies and gents.
Love.
Some things never change.
Love it. All right. Red buff going to go over to Derry. He's farming up, just trying to get more stacks. 385 now. Gibbon is going to throw up the wall. So safe, but the pillar interrupts the elastic slingshot. And you see, this is one of the things. When you're engaged as exclusively on one champion, you got to be careful where you position. And I think Durian Defenders are starting to realize that. They've taken too many just fights.
Yeah, and this could be the beginning of the end right here. Getting a Baron buff would just spell the end of the game. Fighting for the Baron buff could spell the end of the game. Durian Defenders are looking for a miracle right here. I'm not so sure they're going to find it.
Ooh.
Super scary position for...
Almond Milk with Geo. They find Gibbon. Gibbon gets the knock-up, jumps away with the stand behind me. Now up on the top side, Bacon Lips going up against Dire Spark. It's an even-ish trade, but on the bottom side, Lava Slide has to be careful because Derry has Execute. They're getting hit with the Rocka heals both sides. Derry is legendary, taking out King. Wazy has to flash away. Geo gets a nice knockback onto Gibbon. Lava Slide's going to try and help him. Bacon Lips goes down to Derry. Lava Slide is the last one alive. He's knocked up. He is killed. That's a double for the Trundle. And now Phil Me have a clear path straight up the base for the next 30 seconds.
That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy and crippling. And honestly, even the death timers are a little bit staggered, 10 seconds from each other, that once they come up, I don't know if it'll be enough. I think we're looking at the end of the game right here.
It was a great set of fights, a great set of plays to put their mid and bot laners ahead. In the next 6 seconds, the only threat is coming, and that is gonna do it for our finals. Ladies and gentlemen, Phil Me are your second-time champions of the PLC.